days ago. Let's bring in Alvin Verlander. He is Jacksonville's executive director of sports and entertainment. You can find him all the time on Twitter. It's at Alvin Verlander. How you doing, Alvin?
Richard, I am good. How are you?
Oh, life is good. Life is good. How was a closed-door meeting? Were all the doors closed?
They're all good, you know. There's just times where you got to close stuff and get stuff done, and so but it's all good. We've got a lot of, you know, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty on this Navy Marine Corps Classic, and a lot of good stuff happening, though. Oh,
well, good to know. How did your daughter race at the Katie Caples?
She did great. You know, you talk about a spectacular event.
Mm-hmm.
That is a Bishop Kenny. Kudos to Bishop Kenny for putting on really a spectacular event. And my daughter did well. She's a 7th grader and racing the JV race, and she finished about right in the middle of the pack of her race. And she was excited. And, you know, it's neat just watching your kids grow up and watching them run in a race that they had never done before. But she did fun, and she had a blast. I was just really, again, kudos to Bishop Kenny because they put on a first-class event.
Oh, they really did. Were you able to find a parking spot?
I was. You know, I got there. She had to be there at 4:30.
Oh, wow.
And her race was at 5:45. But they made them stay until the awards, and her team at Bowles won the JV girls race, so they were really excited. So Dad, being that I get paid to be in sports, therefore I have to watch college football, jumped over to Mudville Grill and watched most of the second half of the Gator game and some other games on tap there.
I like that. Alvin Verlander joining us like he does every Wednesday right here on Miller on Sports. You can listen online at 1600thebeach.com. Alvin, I was thinking about this over the weekend. What do you consider to be the neatest sporting event on the First Coast that most people don't know about or more people should?
Wow. Well, I would say the neatest event that I think everybody knows about is this Navy Marine Corps Classic. That's going to be a unique event. You know, that's a really, really good question. Do you your next question, and I'll come back to that.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Give it some time to think. Any updates on the Navy Marine Corps Classic?
We had a great trip last week, as I told you, to Norfolk. Saw the ship. It was spectacular. And really, we're rounding out. We're pretty close to a title sponsor on the event. We're trying to lock that down and finalize some things on that. So it's all coming together nice. I mean, it is literally, we are creating a major national college basketball game on a flight deck. And so, and using makeshift locker rooms and all this kind of stuff. But it is going to be a really spectacular event. So, we're gearing up for it.
Excellent. Make sure you find Alvin on Twitter. It's at Alvin Verlander. Become his next follower. Check him out. It is Alvin Verlander. Now, Alvin, every Wednesday at 4:45, I talk to Joshua Wilson. He owns FloridaHSFootball.com. We talk about all the games, the big matchups and everything, Bowles, Bishop Kenny, and it's a lot of fun. And we were talking the other day, and he mentioned the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, and he brought this up. So I credit all of this to Joshua Wilson. Have y'all thought about allowing some high school football games to be played down at Everbank Field?
You know, we had a meeting about that yesterday. I would like to go get a lot of and create back when I was. I never thought I'd ever say that word. Back when I was a kid here in Jacksonville, we used to have the little Gator Bowl. Mm-hmm. You'd have high school teams playing in the Gator Bowl Stadium, and so. We are trying to get back into whether we create a high school game of the week or, whatever we do in that aspect. Yeah, we want to bring more high school events downtown, and so we're trying to do that and look at some high school football for next year.
What about this? I know Miami does it with their stadium. Has it been considered to put maybe a bid in for the FHSAA football finals?
Yeah, it has. I think when I looked at that a few weeks ago, I think The Citrus Bowl still has it for maybe one more year or 2 more years, and then the bids come open.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's going to be something that we definitely want in Jacksonville. And, the problem is it's over I think it's over a couple weekends. And so, depending upon the Jaguars' schedule, that's the one thing that the Citrus Bowl doesn't have to fight with, or not fight, but deal with, is a professional team that plays in their stadium. And so, it'd be hard to have 4 games of state championships on a Saturday and then host an NFL game on a Sunday.
But also, Alan, I think it's easy to say that, Everbank Field is much nicer than the Citrus Bowl.
I don't think it's easier to say it. It totally is. It is nicer than the Citrus Bowl. And now they did down in, in the county down there, they passed a referendum that they are going to put about $200 million into the facility. So I think they are going to make that really nice, and that came out a few weeks ago. And so it is going to be it'll be a first-class facility, but it's not right now. And we want to try to go do that. We want to try to go. I think the FHSAA football state playoffs and championships would go over like gangbusters here.
Alvin Verlander, a conversation every Wednesday right here on Miller on Sports. Listen online at 1600thebeach.com. Alan, it's almost as if they probably should have put in say $400 million into the Citrus Bowl, but that's just me.
Or just blow it up and start over, right?
That's an interesting idea as well. Alan, I was thinking about this too over the weekend. I think one of the best sporting events in person to attend is ice hockey. And I've been around for the teams like the Bullets and the Lizard Kings and the Barracudas. Do you foresee Jacksonville maybe having or landing another ice hockey minor league team?
There's some people out there that I've spoken with that have an interest in owning a team again and potentially bringing here. So there is some chatter about doing that. I do think it because the more and more Jacksonville changes, we get more and more people from the hockey regions down here. I think somebody will certainly give it a go again, and the arena was built with with hockey in mind, and so yeah, I see that. I definitely see that. In the future, how quickly I don't know, because there's got to be openings within leagues, and some teams may want to sell, but I definitely see that happening.
Are you a fan of hockey?
I am. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I haven't. It's hard for me to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
I just can't follow it a lot, and I don't know enough about the sport. But I've gone to several NHL games in Nashville and Philadelphia, and they're a blast in person.
Mm-hmm. They really are. I went to a Bruins game, Boston Bruins, about 4 years ago, and I've never heard such intensity from 10-year-old boys. I mean, it was ridiculous.
You are exactly right. It is it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. Going back to your previous question, I think one of the unique events in the city that not a lot of people know about that really draws a ton of people to it is the River City Championships that are held out in Cecil Field.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to rack my brain trying to think. It draws thousands of kids to a major swim meet from all just Jacksonville kids, because there's not anybody from out of town, and hence the name River City. And it's something that's it's not a unique sport, obviously, with Ryan Lochte and Phelps and all that, but it's a thing that attracts probably 2,000 to 3,000 kids swimming that really not a lot of people know about.
Mm-hmm. He is the executive director of sports and entertainment, joining us every Wednesday. You can find him on Twitter. It's at Alvin Verlander. Alan, we have about 30 seconds. Are there any updates on an MLS team in Jacksonville?
We've got definitely a group that is interested in it. We had a great conversation with the MLS people earlier this week about bringing an exhibition game here, and so we're going to look at that for next season, and then just continue. They're going to add a 20th team in New York. They've said that, so probably in about 3 to 5 years is when they'd look to expand again, and we want to be right there in the mix. But I will say this, how about Notre Dame making their bold statement today?
Oh, boy, you like that move?
Well, I think it's great for the ACC. I think it was a great move for John Swofford and the ACC. I still don't know why we're holding out the football aspect. I do know why, but Notre Dame football is not now what it was back then. And so I think that could have been a nice piece to bring into the ACC. But things
Alan
continue to
Verlander.
change.